breath.
That's what they tell us, right?
Prana is the life force. It is being conscious of that force within you.
That's the public information that's given out. I want to go to the mystic part of it. Did you study the mystic part?
As far as awakening kundalini, as far as, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Okay. So the pranayama is about the control of prana, which is a subtle life force within the body. But the goal of pranayama is to remove all the prana out of what? Anyone know?
The 3.5. No?
Huh?
The lower body?
Out of Ida and Pingala. And lodge all the prana into Sushumna. That's the goal of pranayama.
It's to control the flow of prana.
Through
Sushumna,
Sushumna, because you want to pull the prana out of the Ida and Pingala, and push it into Sushumna. That's the total goal. That's the total goal of pranayama. That's the only reason for pranayama. Okay, so that's the mystic secret. Although you won't see it in too many books, and you won't see it taught in classes, because it's not really publicly talked about. And that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about the flow of prana and how prana works. And let me get my so you have in pranayama you have in pranayama you have you have 5 major pranas. But before you have the 5 major pranas, you have the nadis, right? Everybody know what the nadis are?
No.
So let's go back. The nati is a Sanskrit name. It means the flow of prana. Okay, everybody knows what prana is, right? Huh?
Vital force.
Prana is energy. It's the vital force. Okay, it's a vital force within the life. It's a life vital force of the body, which is energy. It's the subtle cosmic energy. All right. Now, how do we control this energy in the body? The number one way we control the energy in the body is, like she said, through breath. Right? Anybody know why?
Because as we inhale, we're inhaling that cosmic energy, that prana.
That's why what?
As we breathe, we inhale prana. The
Yes,
energy.
but let's think about it. Did you want to say something? Somebody else want to say something? Let's say that breath, the reason why we breathe is that this breath is an energy, right? In fact, it's the largest energy source that we take in. Anybody know how many times we breathe a day?
200,000?
Huh? No one?
Is it like
21,600 times.
I knew it was somewhere out there. Something with a 2.
We breathe 21,600 times a day. So this is the number one way we take in energy, right? What's the second?
The sun? Through water?
The sun.
Water. Well, we take it in through the sun, through the breath. And the third is what?
Food.
Food. Okay? So what's the most important?
Breath.
Gotta be, right? If we stop eating, we die within how many days?
30.
I say 30 to 40. Right?
Water's a week.
We stop drinking water, we die within how many days?
About 7 days.
What?
7 days?
About 7 days?
I think so.
I thought it was like 3 to 5.
I think it's 3 to 5. That's what they taught us at least, right?
Yeah.
Right? From dehydration, right? Because you get dehydrated within 3 hours, you kind of woozy, right? Right. So within 3 days, 3 to 5 days, you lost total consciousness. Now, how about breath?
3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5 minutes. Is it days? 3 to 5 minutes. So what does this tell you? Right?
The important.
Is it minutes? I can't remember how to spell it. So this tells you how important this is, right? So breath, the energy that we take in has something to do with what? What have we talked about this before? It has something to do with what? Right?
Consciousness.
Consciousness. So the yogis realized this many thousands of years ago. One of the yogis that came to this was Patanjali. Was the Sutras of Patanjali, and he connected the pranayama exercises that most people use today, and how to raise our consciousness, how to concentrate, contemplate, and finally meditate. So and just a simple, just analyzing our state of being, we know that breath control is a form of energy. And that form of energy is the thing that keeps us conscious, right? So when we begin to control consciousness, if we want to control consciousness, then we need to regulate breath. And on the breath is this prana, which is another Sanskrit name. It's subtle cosmic energy, right? So that's what pranayama is. The word prana, yama, yama means to control. To control prana. Okay? And one of the things we do in order to control prana is to take this prana and regulate it in a way so that it goes into Shushana. And Shushana is, you have 3 different types of nadis. You have Ida, right? Nadis. You have the Pingala nadis. And you have the Shushana nadis. All right? This is a passive flow of energy. Well, it's a passive mental flow of energy, let's say.
The lunar side.
Yeah. And this is a vital flow of energy. And this is a balanced flow of energy. okay, which means that the positive and negative flow of energy is flowing together with Sushumna. This is, the Ida is a negative flow of energy, the vital flow is a positive flow of energy. Okay, and this is the type of energies that flow through our body. Now, the left nostril is Ida, and the right nostril is Pingala, which is a vital flow. And you can check real quick while you're doing things to see if this is real. When you're using your brain a lot, right? When you concentrate on something that's complex or whatever, your left nostril opens up, which is a mental flow of energy, and your right nostril closes up. You know, so that means that you're really in a mental state, right? And when you're doing vigorous exercises or moving around a lot, then you'll notice that the right nostril is more open than the left nostril. You know, so the yogis realized this many, many years ago. So what they want to do is actually control this flow of energy and balance it. Try to balance this flow of energy, and then not only balance this flow of energy, but push this flow of energy into Sushumna. Now, the nadis, the Ida and the Pingala nadis, is like the subtle nervous system of the body, right? If you can imagine your nervous system, your physical nervous system, then imagine that there's a subtle nervous system behind that where the energy flows. The Sushumna nadi is the spinal column. It's in the spinal column region. Okay? That's where the chakras reside. You have the 7 major chakras along here. That's where the chakras survive. And the nadis go in and out of those particular chakras. If we were to draw just an imaginary scale, we have 2 down here because it's closer. You have the base chakra, which is at the base of the spine. You have the sex chakra. You have the solar plexus chakra, right? And you have the heart chakra. And you have the throat chakra. You have the Christ chakra. Right? Now, the nadis start here, and they loop hundreds of times, but they enter each chakra, right? By the time they reach the Christ chakra, they have identified 108 chakras in the body. Okay? But the major chakras along the spine are the primary chakras. All right? Now, these chakras are vortex centers of energy, of force. Now, by the time the nadis leave here and enter here, they formulated over 108 chakras. And each major chakra, the 108 chakras consist of minute chakras. They consist of minor chakras and major chakras. Okay? how do we know the difference? We're told that a minute chakra, the Ida and the Pingala, they intersect 7 times. With a minor chakra, they intersect 14 times. And with the major chakra, they intersect 21 times. Okay? Okay, so by the time they reach here, you have a total of, I'll say a total of 242 nadis, 242,000 nadis formulated in the body. Okay, that's carrying the energy that's carrying the life-giving energy from the base chakra, where kundalini resides, okay? Kundalini being the vehicle of consciousness for the soul, okay? Our whole goal with pranayama is to wake up kundalini and push this kundalini into this Sushumna, where the chakras reside, okay? So that's the whole goal of pranayama. Everything else in pranayama is pointless. All the exercises, all the hatha yoga, all that stuff is pointless, because the whole goal is to move all the prana out of and Pingala and push it into Sushumna. I remember I was telling you all that in order for the soul to form this thing called kundalini, what did it do? It pushed the Shakti power through Sushumna downwards and rolled it into the 3.5 energy configuration that we call, what we call it?
3.5 knot.
Huh?
The 3.5 knot?
Yeah, the 3.5 knot, right? So, and this 3.5 knot is what?
Kundalini.
It's kundalini. It is kundalini. So this kundalini becomes the vehicle in which the soul operates, because if the soul is actually the body of the spirit, which is the divine spark of God within us. But in the pure soul state, we have total awareness. So in order for the soul to gain the necessary experience that it was given by the spirit, it had to involve itself, it had to go through a form of evolution. This evolution is to bring about this. This is the instrument used to bring about evolution, and it's formed the kundalini. What the kundalini did, the kundalini in once formed, the kundalini had a series of directives too. It blocked the door to Sushumna. When it blocks the door to Sushumna, it actually splits the Shakti power into 3 parts. We already know what one part is blocked, which is Sushumna. The next part is Ida, the mental flow of or the passive flow of energy, and Pingala, the vital flow of energy. Now we have 2 different flows of energy, a positive and a negative. Now what this positive negative energy did, it moved from each chakra, from the base, and tried to reunite itself. And what it did, it went into each level, each major vortex level, and created this thing what we call the petals Everybody heard of the chakra petals, right? You know, the petals or the seed mantras or whatever. So, you know, you have the lotus and you have the petals of the lotus. And that's and it did that at each level, creating what the Hindus call the 50 what? Anybody know? It created 50 what? Yeah, 50 sounds, but in Hindu it's the 50 letters of what? Of what?
Sanskrit.
Sanskrit. Okay? So that's what, you know, that's how they came up with Sanskrit, right? Now, each letter represents a sound vibration. Each sound vibration is a bit of consciousness. It's an aspect of consciousness. And within that consciousness is really, let's say all 50 letters makes up a whole consciousness. All right? So the goal is to enter back to Sushumna and open up each petal and have a meditation on each petal, which brings about another part of your consciousness. All right? Also inside there, with the 50 letters, you have what? 360 what?
The topic rays.
Tabic rays, right? And these tabic rays are what?
Energy from the sun.
Prana coming from the sun.
Yes. They're actually rays coming from the sun, sonic rays coming from the sun, and modified by the earth, the moon, you know, and it also takes on the energy radiated from the 50 letters in order to create a whole nother layer of Maya. And Maya is the great illusion of our existence, right? So we have to take, now each one of these, it is said that each one of these tabic rays also represents a whole realm of existence, all right? It represents a whole realm of existence. So in our meditations, what we have to do, absorb all of this, and dissolve all of this. And by meditation, we create, you know, once we pour all the energy into Sushumna, the illusion of life disappears. There's no time, there's no space. The illusion of life disappears. Because why? You have total control over your life force. And now you see life as it is, not as we have created it in this great illusion. And that's the main goal of pranayama. That's the main goal of pranayama. Now, of course, there's a basic pranayama for, you know, we can breathe in and out and feel good and our health and whatever. But the whole spiritual concept behind pranayama is to make union with God. Because yoga, the word yoga itself means union with God. That's what the word yoga means. It doesn't mean exercise. It means union with God. So that's the, you know, that's the, in a nutshell, that's what it's all about. Now in prana, the Ida and Pingala is, like I said, the left nostril is Ida. The right nostril is Pingala. You have also the right eye. The right eye and the left eye, Ida and Pingala. The left ear and the right ear is Ida and Pingala again. Because what happened, Pingala, it terminates at the Christ chakra. When it terminates at the Christ chakra, it creates a termination to allow sensory perception, to allow this basic consciousness to observe the world that it just created. Okay? And you have the top lip is Ida, the bottom lip is Pingala, and of course the left side of the body and the right side of the body. Okay? So you have the Sushumna Nadi, which is consciousness, a balance of breath, a balance of sight, a balance of sound, and the tongue, and the nervous system. All right? And then you have the instruments of consciousness which is the organs that those things work out of. And then you have the expression of consciousness, which is the sensory perception itself. All right? And all of this is created from the intersections of Ida and Pingala. And when you take the breath away, you have what? You have death. Right? So a lot of people would laugh at these yogis breathing back and forth and saying, what is this? but what it is, they're controlling the life force within the body. They're controlling consciousness. Now, where you have prana, this is dry now. Where you have prana, you have. So from this, we should learn. Where you have prana, you have what?
Life.
Huh?
Life.
Well, you can say life. Well, I want to say consciousness. Right? All right. Now, in most books, they like to substitute. I don't like to do this because breath is not prana. Prana is own breath. Okay? But most people like to associate prana with breath, but as you go on, you'll notice that it's not, because prana is on many, many different levels. Okay? But so prana follows consciousness, and consciousness follows prana because they're one. Okay? When you take a positive flow of prana and bring it together with a negative flow, it equals consciousness. Okay? So that's what you're doing. Okay? So in breath, in the control of Ida and Pingala, what you're doing, you're trying to fuse those two energies together. The energy that flows on the flow of Ida and the energy that flows on the flow of Pingala. The whole goal is to, this is the base. The whole goal is to take the energy and have it to gather here and push it in one direction through Sushumna. You may have Ida, you may have Pingala, and the whole goal is to take it and push it up to Sushumna. This is your goal. So you do that through alternate breath technique, where you breathe in, you hold for double the count, you breathe out, right? And over a period of time, you increase that. You may hold it for 3 times, because in holding the breath stimulates the thing that we know, which is kundalini. It suspends life. When we hold the breath, we suspend life in a sense, you know. So what we do, we breathe down, we hold, and we suspend this. And then we're taught to mentally push that suspended energy off of the breath into Sushumna. And what it does, you have this 3.5 energy configuration down here at the bottom, at the base chakra, that you're trying to wake up. When all that energy build up there at the bottom, what happens is it kind of like and hits this kundalini, and with your mental visualization and this thing called mantra, we wake up kundalini. We wake up the kundalini, and the kundalini is woken up, and we're pushing there. Now, that's the whole theory of it. There's steps to it. The breathing, the first set of breathing that you do, you have to create a passageway, right? You have to create a passageway, and the passageway is that the nadis that we have had for millions of years. There's no one life. You know, energy, it cannot be destroyed. Scientists found that out. You cannot destroy energy. You know,
Or change it.
Or change it. So only thing energy do, energy just reformulate itself. Right? Now, the nadis is part of our existence that we take from life to life to life to life. We live one life, we die, we go to hell or heaven, wherever it may be, wherever we deserve to go to, and then we're reborn, and we live another life, we die, and reborn. But during this time, you have these nadis that's within what I call auric body, right? That holds your consciousness. Now, all your personality, all your likes, all your dislikes, all these are impurities. That's what they really are. From wrong knowledge, and wrong concept and understand. Yeah, I'm trying to not use the
Sanskrit.
Sanskrit.
Yeah, I'm trying not to use the Sanskrit terminology. But since you said it, I'm gonna say it. It's we build up these samskaras, and these samskaras are mental impressions, right? In Sanskrit, it's called samskaras, but what they are, they're like mental impressions that fall down on our aura. If you can imagine, everybody heard of an aura, right? You can imagine we live inside this aura. And this aura is a magnetic field that actually holds our consciousness. In fact, our mental bodies is not in the brain. It's this mental substance, just like this planet. This planet has an atmosphere, we have an atmosphere. And the atmosphere is part of this planet, and our aura is part of our existence. Now, the body may die out, the physical body may die out, right? The astral body, there's a double of the physical body, it dies out, right? But there's a part of you that don't die. And that's the mental and auric part. This part lived for millions of years, taking you from one life to the next. Now, you can't fall back to an animal. Of course, you know, we progress. Once you're a human, you don't go back to an animal, you know. So you always move forward in some sense, or you stagnate. So in our auric field, we have all these negative deposits from our own thoughts and actions. And one of the biggest things we have to do is we have to purify these nadis, because these nadis formulate the aura, because they carry the energy that actually contaminates the auric body. They carry the thought forms, and they push these thought forms out of the chakras, and it actually contaminates. It actually contaminates the auric body. Now, the pranayama and mantra help to purify. It helps to purify the auric body. So one of the first stages of pranayama is to actually purify the aura, to push off the contaminants. Now, mantra is everybody heard of mantra, right? Everybody heard of the holy chants, the Indian chants? Okay, well, that's what mantra is. Mantra, and mantra is in every religion, whether they realize it or not. We say God spoke the word, and the word was God, and creation came about. The word was a sound vibration. Mantra is a sound vibration. So the soul spoke the word and mold and shape all these bodies of man. The spirit spoke the word and manifested the soul. So they follow suit what God did. The sun, and even scientists have even realized this now, the sun releases a sound vibration every 30-some minutes. And that sound vibration is the thing that actually keeps the balance of this solar system, and it is the thing that actually created all the planets and all the solar plasmic field that all the planets exist in. So and then of course we live by sound vibration because what? Our heart has what? It has a beat to it. It has the nodes that beat and regulates the blood in the body. It regulates blood. It regulates oxygen, the oxygen level, the carbon dioxide level. It regulates all of that. So the sound is very important, and the 50 letters of Sanskrit sound vibrations that was formulated by our soul and spoke is what we use as mantra or chants to regulate the aura, because what it does when you chant a mantra and you chant that mantra properly and correctly with focus on all the tone, the pitch, and everything, it begins to spin this aura. And when it spins the aura, it has like a centrifuge effect on the aura. All the all the negative substance of the aura falls, it falls down or falls off or burns up, because the aura spins until it becomes almost crystal clear shield, and it burns up hundreds, maybe thousands of samskaras, of bad thought and actions that we created throughout all our lives. And that's one reason why you find a lot of Buddhist monks, they spend 20, 30 years just chanting mantra. Because they want to burn up all the negative samskaras, so that when they do start on a journey of raising their consciousness and going into the deep states of meditation, so that they can connect with the all in all, that there will be no obstruction. Our obstruction is the thoughts and actions of our past, our recent past, our past lives, things that we said, did, that was not right. That's what karma is about. I'm sure everybody heard of karma. Karma is action. And it represents the divine law of God. That's what it represents. Every action that happens in creation is a karmic action. And this action, this karmic action, determines how these samskaras, with the thought and actions that we do, will affect our journey. Okay? So we have this karmic action. Every thought, every action is a karmic action, and it affects our auric field. People say, "Oh, I'm reading your aura. It's not good," or "I'm reading your aura, it is good." It's the thoughts and actions that you did that day, that week, that month, or a couple years ago that's affecting what they see. All right? It's an energy formation. So pranayama helps to purify your aura, and it helps to purify your thoughts. Now, inside the thing that pranayama focuses in on is what I call the valence level of this aura. All right? The valence level of this aura is a jagged, for most people it's a jagged wave, just like the ocean. You look at the ocean and all the wind is hitting the ocean, you have all these waves hitting the bank, right? Well, that's how your mind is. Because why? You have this sensory perception. You have your eyes, your nose, your ears. You're hearing all these things. Thousands and thousands of different impressions that you're receiving. Second after second, minute after minute. So it creates this wave. Now, it's funny when you look at a lake or a pond, it's not as active as the ocean, right? Because the ocean have more of this air and wind, but a lake is usually guarded with trees or something, a mountain is in the valley, and the wind doesn't hit it. Well, one of the things, this have our inner self, our consciousness, is because of this violence level or wave of the aura, it has us focus in on our sensory perception and not our real consciousness, the I am, or the I within us. So one of the things that pranayama, meditation, Raja Yoga does, it has us to move away from the sensory perception and concentrate on who we are. So what we do, we detach ourselves from our sensory perception and we focus in on the flow of energy within us. And one of the things we'll notice is that this jagged edge will become smooth. See? all the nervousness, all the grasshopper thoughts is gone. And we can focus in on one thing. See? And that's moving that energy up to a higher level. So that's the first stage of pranayama is to purify the nadis. All right? And one of the ways to purify the nadis is through the regulation of breath, the chanting of mantra, and concentration. Concentration is what I just talked about here. Concentration is taking the thoughts and taking your thoughts and pushing your thoughts down one channel of thought and don't allow anything else to enter. To focus in on one thing. You see the famous pictures of the yogi monks that sat there and just stare at something. And that becomes their whole world. Because what they're doing, they withdrawing themselves from all their senses, from all the other different extractions. The plane is flying ahead above, the birds, the winds, the noise, and they focus in on one thing. And they take control. They don't allow all these other distractions to come. And they take control and they focus in on one thing. And behind that, they gain tremendous concentration. A tremendous power is given to them. And when they can do that, they can begin to direct the subtle flow of energy through their body once they do that. And that's the aim, because why? Because the subtle life force within our body is at disarray now. And in order to become in contact with God, we have to channel that energy and push it in one direction with no distractions whatsoever. And concentration is the way we do it. And from concentration comes contemplation. Contemplation is when you have tucked that channel of thought and pushed it down in one direction. What you have, you begin to pick up the subtle messages of that particular object. You begin to connect with that particular object, and you begin to understand things that's not known. In other words, you begin to focus in on the molecular structure of that particular object, and you can know how it was made, where it came from. All these things become known to you. You know, contemplation is psychic powers. You know, so at that point, you continue with your concentration and contemplation, and you do as much contemplation as you can, and contemplation will lead to this thing called meditation. And meditation is when you become one with the object that you are meditating on. You and that object become one life. And that's the goal, because why? There's only one life anyway, and that life is God. So that's the true goal of meditation. And in the state of meditation, what happens in the state of meditation is all the energy in the nadis are pulled out of the nadis, and they go into a state of sushumna. And they go into inside sushumna. There's an inner nadi called the Brahma nadi, and that's where you want to push all the energy into. And the Brahma nadi is where the essence of each chakra is, and the essence of each chakra is on each level of the chakra. There's what you call an all knowledge space. There's an all knowledge space on each level. And in Sanskrit terminology, they call it the bindu, which is a spiritual germ or a point of consciousness. And and you connect with that all-knowledge space, and you become one with it. And at that point, you know, you have this all-awareness. You can be sitting here in this room, but you can be aware of the whole Dade County. You can be aware of the whole Dade County, the whole Broward County, and Monroe County, even Palm Beach. You can be totally aware of everything when you enter these states. And your consciousness expands. Your consciousness is not limited to the tiny frame to this tiny frame anymore. Your consciousness expands, and you have, it's not visions, it's not visions. You actually, your consciousness expands, and you're actually aware of everything that's going on, you know. And when you come out of these states, you're a changed person. The foolishness of day-to-day politics doesn't matter to you anymore. You know, you have a whole different perspective. Going to war, fighting war is ridiculous. You know, all those, you know, all the idiosyncrasy things that man do, your conscious, I mean, you can see clear through it. You don't, you know, you're not held down by the philosophies of man anymore. You know, you answer to a higher being, which is God. And you don't have to express it to anyone, you just know. And it seems like you always can pinpoint the right answer because you are karmically connected to a supreme being, which is yourself. Because your spirit is one with God. And in meditation, when you go into these states, what happens is that the soul is bathed in the light of the spirit. In this Bendu point, this is a doorway to allow you to be bathed into the light of the spirit. And that's what true meditation is. True meditation is when the soul is bathed in the light of the spirit. So I went through it real quick because I was late. So, but you can follow this and you can see the flow of energy patterns. This shows the flow of energy patterns. I give a brief definition of the nadis here. And I show the 7 upper chakras and the lower chakras, the 7 lower chakras.
Are you going to go into the lower chakras? Ever?
I did one time before. I mean, I don't know if this is a class to go into it, but I just want, you know, to show this is the 7 lower and the 7 upper chakras. We deal with all the upper chakras. The lower chakras are the animal kingdom. The upper chakras is the human kingdom. The lower chakras are the animal and vegetable kingdom. So we really don't go into that. I mean, it's, you know, in advanced metaphysics, you do some things with it, in advanced yoga practices, but, you know, in the basic yoga practices, you don't really mess with those chakras because you are raised above those chakras. Mm-hmm. It's the animal, the plant life and the animal life is going through this, and when they reach the Muladhara, the base chakra, that's their crown chakra to them. You know, so they, you know, they gain self-consciousness when they reach that chakra. Mm-hmm. The same way we want to gain this God-like consciousness when we reach the Christ or the crown chakra. You know, the way Jesus reached the Christ chakra and the crown chakra, and Sri Krishna and Buddha. All right. So our goal is to reach towards the Christ and the crown chakra. So the lower chakras shouldn't be our interest. Pia, did you get one of these?
I get it.
Later on.
Yeah.
So any questions?
That picture you here have there with the aura and the guy. Based upon your diagram, is it safe to say that the body is trapped in the aura as opposed to saying the aura is an extension of the body?
No, well, a lot of people like to say that, but that's incorrect. The body was formulated by the aura, and the body is trapped in the aura. But you have a lot of writers that say that because they really don't understand it. All right, because the auric body is what you live in. That's your consciousness.
So the aura doesn't extend from the body.
Now, when you draw all the energies out of Pingala into Sushumna, it will appear as though you have no aura. But, only thing you're doing is manipulating the energy. So, but no, the body is something, the physical body and the astral body is something you cast off. When you die, the physical body goes back to its original materials. And the astral body that you use during your sleep state on this physical realm, every time you go to sleep at night, your astral body leaves the body and repeat things that you like doing or whatever. So that's why sometimes when you work real hard on something and then you go to sleep and you wake back up and it seemed like you was doing that work all night long, it was because your astral body go and repeat those things over and over and over again. But when you die, the astral body, you die two deaths. You die the physical body and you die with the astral body. And you move on, you leave and move on with your auric body. And your auric body is reincarnated. Yeah.
Do you have a choice when you come back again?
Yeah, it's always your choice. I mean, karma dictates it. The karmic pressures, karma is a pressure on us. And because karma is a divine law of God. And it karma controls us, it controls this earth, it controls the sun, it controls the solar system, the galaxy, and it's the pressures of karma that actually dictates, exactly when we're going to come back. But we, the higher self, our spirit, which is connected to God, and it actually dictates, the I am within you actually dictates where you come back, and when you come back, and how you come back.
So you can come back female or male?
Yeah, of course. Of course. There's no real
Soul knows no gender?
no gender. I would say that females are more advanced than males. So
So we got one up on that.
So to come back as a female, you'll probably be doing better. But it all depends on you on your advancement and where you come at. But yeah, your soul knows no gender because we are male and female. Yeah.
In terms of like karma and its pressure and reincarnation, would you say that your auric body that gets reincarnated is like water in the sense that it flows the path of least resistance in terms of karma? Like your karma continues on and then you reincarnate where that karma led you in the path of least resistance. Would you say?
No, I wouldn't say the path of least resistance. I think man takes the path of least resistance. No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Because karma is pressure towards conformity. The only reason why it's the same. If you look out in society today, we keep doing something stupid until what? Until the pressures of how we do that conform us into doing it right. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, someone and people get hit by a car, accident after accident, and then someone dies.
And finally, they're going to fix it.
They go and put a stoplight there, and they reconfigure it. They bring in all the engineers and say, okay, this was done wrong. But they allow that to go on for decades. And as long as no one was dying, so what? So that's what karma is. Karma is the pressure. And just like right now, our financial system, we're being pressured to change it, in the country. That's karma. Yeah.
So there's really no such thing as free will. It's either doing it the easy way or doing it the hard way.
Well, you had a free will, and that's why karma is here. To bring about the pressure on free will to bring about real freedom. See, you had a free will to go and do anything, but the karma, the karma is the balancing thing, is the pressure against that free will to show you what real freedom is. And real freedom is raising your consciousness to a level where you don't do idiotic things.
But you only go so far with your free will until karma pretty much stops you.
Yeah, They said in the Christian church, they say that Jesus could only be on the cross for so long. That was karma. He can only, allow himself to suffer so much pain, and then, it had to stop. See, so that's that's karmic pressure, and it's like that with everything. Only thing you have to do is just look around. Just look around. You'll see karmic pressure works on everything. Any other questions?
On this map of the nadis, do all the nadis terminate in the hands, which allows the mudras to control the flow of energy?
I won't. They don't terminate in the hand. No, they don't terminate in the hand. All the nadis terminate in the head region.
So how are we able to control the flow of energy using mudras?
Because it goes out to the hands and go back to the head.
Okay.
It's the same way if I want to touch this to see if it was cold, right? What do? I touch it. A signal come in, a sensory signal comes in. It goes through my nervous system, goes all the way up and down my spine to my brain, back down, back to this right again. Then it's a double relay, and then bang, I say, okay, it's almost room temperature. And that's the same way as the hands are connected to all the chakras. All right, all the major chakras are connected to the hand. But it's not a termination point.
Okay.
It's not a termination point. Any other questions?
Nehemiah, can you talk to us briefly about the exercise of consciously bringing really Ida and Pingala, the breath through Ida and Pingala, and then pushing it through Sushumna? I mean, where does it start? You start at the nostrils, obviously, but do you direct it through the chakras, or is there a specific path?
No, what you do, you take it when you breathe in.
Right.
You really need a whole class on this.
Yeah,
but
no,
when you breathe in,
I know the
you breathe
exercise,
in,
all the-
right?
yeah.
You imagine that there's a visualization part of first you get the breath right.
Right.
Then you add the visualization component to it, and you bring it down one side of the spine.
Okay.
All right, and you let it build up while you hold the breath for whatever count, either two times whatever you breathe in, 3 times whatever you breathe in, or 4 times whatever you breathe in, wherever count you want to do. But the longer you hold it, the greater intensification. But you don't want to hold it to your detriment. All right. So at that point, it's building up, right? And during that hold is the time that you use the mantra. All right, whatever mantra you're using, that's the time that you use the mantra, and you use the psychic use of the mantra, of chanting the mantra.
Right.
Not the physical, not the mental.
With the tongue and the palate pressed against the palate.
And you think the mantra.
Right.
And you try to think the mantra. Now there are different exercises on how to do it. But at that time, you think in the mantra and you have directed the energy to little by little go up the Brahmanati or Shushana.
Right.
Right? And then when you release it, when you release the energy, you imagine that the energy is coming up through Shushana, right? When you breathe it out on the other side through Shushana and out 6 inches in front of the forehead.
Okay, so it comes out your Christ center.
It comes out the Christ center 6 inches in front of your forehead. And then you repeat the same thing with the other side, and you push it up Shushana.
Okay.
Right.
But you bring it down that side,
Right.
hold it, chant the mantra, visualize the energy coming through Shushana, and then release it out 6 inches in front of the forehead.
Now, is there a time where you breathe through both nostrils and bring both energies down and then mix them and push them up?
Only with the different practice. There's another practice where you regulate the breath, right?
Okay.
Where you breathe in, and at that time you bring the energy down both. You breathe in, both, you bring it down, right? And then you quickly push it up without holding the breath.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So, but that's, you know, in fact, that's one of the first exercises they teach you to do, but it's probably the hardest. You know. You got a question? Anyone else? Did everybody understand what I just said? Huh? No? If you don't understand, just ask me. I try to explain it without using the Sanskrit terminology.
Can you,
I was paying
is it
attention.
okay for you to tell us about the tip of the tongue?
The tip of the tongue,
Yes.
the tip of the tongue is a psychic center.
Okay.
It's also a psychic center. It's used in pranayama as well. And there's two ways to use the tongue. There's a way that you use it with water, and then there's a way that you take in the breath, right? You take in the breath by both nostrils. You hold the breath, right? And at that time, you bring the energy down both sides of the spine, and then when you get it there, you hold the breath, right? While holding the breath, you roll the tongue up in the back of the mouth. You think the mantra, and you visualize the energy up through the little tiny hole of the spine called the Brahmanati, and you push it. You bring it up 6 inches in front of the forehead, and then you release the breath through the mouth, right, with the tongue curled a little bit, and you push it out, right? You don't want to make a whistle sound, but you push it out, right? That's one way. Another way is with the water, and I'm going to direct you to which practice is that inside the book?
That's, I think, the
third,
the fifth one.
the fifth one. Is you sure it's the fifth? With water.
With the water?
Yeah, with the water. When you sip the nectar.
I think it's the fifth one.
It's the fifth one.
Which book is it?
It's to contact your higher self through yoga.
Oh, I never did that.
Look at that book, read through it. It's a real cheap book. It gives you the physical
So I
part,
have this,
the inner potential,
no, the breathing,
the mystic yoga.
yoga.
Yeah, but you need this book.
But
That gives you the
have this
physical.
one. Okay.
It costs like $6.
$8 with
$8.
Yeah. I'll look
Or
at it.
shipping.
It's
No, I
called-
have realized your inner potential. I have the book and I have the
Mhm.
DVD.
Okay, but I would say
That
get
one?
this, because it gives you the physical exercises, and it only focus on this, and then I'll give you the mental exercises with it. Because the mental, he don't give the mental exercises in here because it's supposed to be given to by a teacher. All right?
But the
But
mental component, what you would normally call the key to that
Yeah.
effect.
yeah, the mystic side of it.
It's the fifth one.
All right?
Yeah, it's the fifth one.
It's the fifth one? Yeah, read the fifth one. Contact Your Higher Self through Yoga by Dr. George King. Any other questions?
Would you say some skaras, I mean, like as you raise your vibration, some skaras, or lower vibrations, where some skaras are at, that's heavier than your higher vibrations? That's why when you spin it, it just flies out?
Yeah, that's the part that falls down below the base. Every time you think, you create a sanskara. Every action you do creates a sanskara. Now, all sanskaras are not bad. You have good sanskaras, semi, like great sanskaras, and then you have real bad sanskaras. All right. But usually the negative sanskaras actually generated or came from the lower chakras. The chakras, the base chakra, the sex chakra, or the solar plexus chakra. It's that region that's holding us back and having us to reincarnate, because it's a passion. That's where our passion desires of all the wrong kind is. So that's a major part of the body we need to clean up, and purify. And then we can push the energy up to the higher chakras and experience a higher type consciousness. Any other questions?
The book is called George King?
Yeah, Dr. George King, yeah. George King.
And just yoga?
It's called Contact Your Higher Self Through Yoga.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, we can close out with a prayer.